an avid hiker, set out on a solo trip into the dense forest of Blackwood. Known for its eerie silence and untouched beauty, Blackwood was a place where few dared to venture alone. Mark entered the forest early in the morning, the sun barely peeking over the horizon. The towering trees cast long shadows and the air was thick with the scent of pine. His backpack was filled with supplies, and his spirits were high. A few hours into his hike, Mark stumbled upon an old, overgrown path. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to follow it. The further he went, the quieter the forest became. Soon, he noticed something strange, the sound of footsteps echoing his own. He stopped and listened, but the forest was silent. As dusk approached, Mark found an old, abandoned cabin. Its windows were broken, and the door hung on its hinges. He decided to spend the night there. As he settled in, the sound of footsteps returned, this time circling the cabin. He peered out the window but saw nothing. Unable to sleep, Mark decided to explore the cabin. In the basement, he found old photographs of a family who once lived there. As he examined the photos, he felt a cold breath on his neck and heard a whisper, "Leave now." Terrified, Mark grabbed his things and ran out of the cabin. The footsteps followed him all the way back to the main trail. He didn't stop until he was out of the forest. As he reached his car, he looked back and saw a shadowy figure standing at the forest's edge, watching him. Emily and her friends decided to go camping in the remote Whispering Pines forest. Known for its dense trees and mysterious past, the forest had a reputation for being haunted. The group set up camp near a small clearing. As night fell, they sat around the campfire sharing stories. The forest seemed to come alive with whispers, but they dismissed it as the wind. In the middle of the night, Emily woke up to the sound of whispers right outside her tent. She unzipped her tent and saw nothing but darkness. The whispers seemed to move around the campsite, but no one else heard them. The next morning, Emily found strange symbols carved into the trees around their campsite. She showed them to her friends, but they laughed it off, thinking it was a prank. Emily couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. That night, one of Emily's friends, Jake, went missing. They searched the entire campsite and surrounding area but found no trace of him. The whispers grew louder and more distinct, calling out their names. As the whispers reached a deafening pitch, the group decided to leave. As they packed up, Emily saw a figure standing among the trees, its eyes glowing in the darkness. They ran, but the whispers followed them, growing louder with each step. When they finally reached their car, the whispers stopped. They reported Jake's disappearance to the authorities, but he was never found. To this day, Emily can still hear the whispers in her dreams, calling her back to the Whispering Pines forest. Tom, a seasoned park ranger, was assigned to patrol the mysterious Ravenwood Forest. The forest was infamous for strange occurrences and unexplained disappearances. Tom began his patrol as usual, walking the familiar trails. As the sun set, the forest took on an eerie ambiance. He felt as if he was being watched, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. While checking one of the remote campsites, Tom heard someone calling for help. He followed the voice and found an old, disheveled man who claimed to be lost. The man warned Tom about a phantom ranger who haunted the forest before disappearing into the trees. Later that night, Tom saw a figure in a ranger's uniform standing at the edge of his campsite. When he approached, the figure vanished. He searched the area but found no trace of anyone. The next day, Tom spoke to a local elder who told him the legend of the Phantom Ranger, a park ranger who went missing decades ago and was said to haunt the forest, leading travelers astray. Determined to uncover the truth, Tom returned to the spot where he saw the phantom. As night fell, the figure appeared again. This time, Tom followed it deep into the forest until he reached an old abandoned ranger station. Inside the station, Tom found old reports and personal belongings of the missing ranger. Suddenly, the temperature dropped, and he felt a presence behind him. The phantom appeared and spoke, revealing that he was trapped, unable to leave until his remains were found and given a proper burial. Tom searched the area and eventually found the ranger's remains buried under an old oak tree. He reported his findings, and the remains were given a proper burial. Since then, the sightings of the Phantom Ranger ceased, but Tom couldn't shake the feeling that the forest still held many secrets. If you want watch-related video, click on this video.